Hello, cats and kittens. Mama Cat Gamer here with another episode in Gavtia's playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV. I just finished editing part 53. My goodness, getting towards the ends of the Heavensward series patch quest. So the next one of those will be up on in 2 days on Friday morning, and so look forward to that. I am making sure we are okay live before I do much else. So let me double check that. I have to monitor things on my phone. And it's always quite the adventure. That's right. There we are. Okay. Thank goodness I'm the only viewer. All right. We'll try the intro again as soon as I get everything settled. Hello, cats and kittens. Mama Cat Gamer here with another trip through Eorzea with Gavtia. We are in the Shadowbringers series of quests. We just started. We had to pick the branch with Alisaie or Elfino. We decided to go with Alisaie first. Ladies first. And so we are going to be doing working off the meal. And I have some quest turn-ins that I had gotten, like queues for trials and things like that, that I didn't want to wait through the game through the stream for. So we've got quite a few turn-ins to tackle. And the Moogle Tomestone event is right now. So we will be turning in some items for that. All right, let me switch over to can do Alchemist. We have to go talk to Monago. Wanted to make sure I was on a job that I can actually get the XP on. I hope you all are well today. And welcome aboard. I am doing okay. I got some stomach bug yesterday. That was nasty. Oh, I missed it. Hang on, let me read it. Good to see you, Gav, if you're looking for lease. Eh? I told you I'd taken an interest in the collectibles trade. He looks very dapper in that fedora there. I'm surprised. I knew you were many things, but an accomplished artisan was not one of them. Who knew that? That Gav could sew and cook and brew potions and fish and mine and collect herbs and blacksmith and make armor and tan leather, you know. We would have been fools to turn you away when you offered to help the resistance, and I'd be a fool to do it now. You're probably wondering why I decided to try my hand at a different trade. Truth is, it's not for me, but for the ones who couldn't be here today. The ones who aren't here to see what we've accomplished. A free Alamigo, a new beginning, a new future. After we defeated Xenos and the 12th, I thought long and hard about what I ought to do next. I was with the relatives of some of the dead in recompense when I realized I had lost comrades, but them? They'd lost husbands and wives, mothers and fathers, breadwinners. Every day would be harder than the last. We'd won them freedom, the freedom to be poor and die starving. Where's the justice in that? So I decided I'd do something about it. I'd establish a fund for the widows and the orphans, our way of giving a little back in honor of those who gave us their all. That's nice, yeah. There was just one problem. I don't know the first thing about making gil. Other than soldiering, my only other talent was hunting, and I'll not raise more than a fraction of what I need selling pelts. But when little Galliana told me about collectibles and the prices people were willing to pay, I knew I'd found the answer. I'll not deny I've got a lot to learn, but I'm ready and willing to give it my all. So, what say you? Up for helping me fill custom orders for a good cause? Of course, I'll not ask you to do it for free. You'll get your cut. Script's good with any of the house's people. Count me in. Glad to have you on board. First order of business, I'm in the market for some Girabanian souvenirs. Since the liberation of Alamigo, trade with other regions has been steadily increasing. Commodities people had to struggle to get are easier to obtain, and people are getting a taste for more and more Gridanians in particular. Heh, I've got a feeling this is going to be the start of something special. Alright, custom deliveries unlocked, which is good because I had like finished out all the other ones already. I really need to go back to Foundation and unlock the custom deliveries there. Okay. Make a delivery. What do we want to make? We've seen all this before. Girabanian souvenir. We're going to make some up real quick. It won't take us much time. I'm going to make them on Culinarian because I have this trained eye skill, which gives you automatic max collectability. Alright. I need gear, Abani, and souvenir components. Not Girabanian souvenir component materials. Not the components. Okay, I need there's 2 each. I need 2 each for each of the 6, so I am going to buy 12. You can see I got a lot of fish in my bag there, which I'm probably going to just sell. I could desynthesize them, but it won't raise my desynth skill in Culinarian any farther because I've got it maxed out with the fish that you catch on ocean fishing because they're only rank 1. So I will probably just sell them quick. When you desynth your fish after ocean fishing, you will oftentimes get water crystals and your bait back. And since bait, you know, when you buy them in the second 100, it can be a little expensive if you're still in the gill making phase. So desynthing is well worth it, right? So what I'm doing here is synthesis, train dye to give it max collectability. You can only use that in the first stage, right? For your first step. They're not available after that. And then I'm using groundwork. I probably could use some of these other synthesis skills, but groundworks just gets it done immediately. I think we got them all made. Yeah. Alright. Let's go back to Monago. I don't know what my family is doing back there. Okay, Monago, here's your stuff. Oh, this dolphin calf mini pet. You could get from doing ocean fishing and making 5,000 points, which is not terribly difficult to do. Okay. Especially with so many people doing ocean fishing right now, it means you're almost guaranteed to get a spectral current, which gives you a super turbo boost in your points. Alright. Oh. Gear. So you've brought me some Garabanian souvenirs? Good. For all they preach about not being wasteful, they sure don't seem to mind wasting gil. Now, then, on closer inspection, bugger me, you don't see something like this every day. Hells, you're lucky to see something like that once in a blue moon. I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up. I know I'm not going to get the purple scripts, but that's okay. The Gridanian collectors send their warmest regards, Gav. The items you provided were quite well received, I'm told. Thanks to the contributions of you and yours, or others, we've earned enough gil to start providing payments to some of the bereaved families. In fact, a young woman with one such family is here today and would like to say a few words. Germaine says, "My name is Germaine, sir. I joined the resistance together with my father, but when the Imperials attacked the Reach, he was killed. I'm grateful for what you're doing, I am. I won't deny it's been hard ever since he passed, but I wasn't expecting anything, nor do I think I deserve it, but thank you all the same. I didn't want to be a soldier when I was little. I wanted to learn things, get an education. Didn't work out that way on account of the occupation, of course. That's why Father and I joined the fight. But now that the occupation's ended, I've been thinking, when Alamigo needed soldiers, I became one. But now Alamigo needs learned men and women, so I'm thinking that's where I'll use your guild to finally become. Thank you for this opportunity, sir." Xenos himself cut her father down when he came to the Reach that day. From what I heard, he died giving his daughter a chance to escape. There were a lot of people who died at Xenos' hand that day. That was a brutal scene, really. Very heartbreaking at some of the deaths we saw there. We all had to make choices that day. I was wounded, so I chose to flee with Kryl and some few others. But I wanted to stay and fight. I told him. I screamed at him. But Mefred, he wouldn't hear it. So he stayed and I ran. I lived and he died. Came to light recently that he had a family too, a wife and child. He never mentioned them before, so I had no idea. I'd like to help them like the other families, but we don't know where they got to or even if they're still alive. But we'll keep on searching until we do. In the meantime, I'll have to content myself with helping those I can, and I do hope I can continue to count on you for assistance. This is but the first step on an endless road. Full many of our friends died, and we owe it to them to do right by their loved ones. And we will, Gav. I know we will. Where there's a will, there's a way. My kids hear me say that more than once. Minago is pleased with your efforts. She now considers you a supporter of the Resistance Widows and Orphans Fund. And yet there is still much work to be done before the fund can provide sufficient aid to all the families of the deceased. To that end, Minago... Let me try that again. And yet there is still much work to be done before the fund can provide sufficient aid to all the families of the deceased. To that end, Minago has a new favor to ask of you. I made 3 too many of those things. I didn't need 6, I only needed 3. Oh well. We did well with those Gridanian collectors, but we'll need to expand if we want to continue raising money for the fund. In short, I'd like to start dealing in Far Eastern collectibles. Apparently, according to General Aldine, there are a number of wealthy individuals in Ul'dah with a deep and abiding love for all things Hingan. It goes without saying that the Ul'dah elite have more gil to spend than their Gridanian counterparts on average. So I expect we can turn a greater profit with this venture. It'll be more work than before, but I know you're up to the task. Yes, we are. Alright. Got 3 remaining. Far Eastern Antiques. Let's go do that. I should have remembered that I only need 3 for the first level. Because they stagger it. So you can't get a full level like every week. So there's, like, you can't do anything with these at all. I don't think. Before I do that, let me see if I can turn them in here. Actually, I need to burn some scripts is what I need to do. Extra large angler's canvas. Sure, I think. Wait. Let me see if I can actually sell it. I think so. Alright. No, doesn't look like I can sell those items. Okay. Custom delivery items are not sellable. Alright, so we'll just discard them. Now, if you want to ever know what, if you're like not there, you can do timers and then custom deliveries. And Minago needs Far Eastern Antique. I'm going to make 3 of those up real quick. Turn them in for. What am I doing? I need to go buy the stuff to make it. I keep going to the wrong guy, guys. Sorry. Okay, Far Eastern Antique Component. Let me see how many I actually need. I need one. Okay, so I only need to buy 3 of these to make it. Oh, you need 3 of each. I bought the wrong thing again, I think. No, I have the... Okay. So I need 9 total. I clearly wasn't paying attention there. Or I only need 2. Okay. I just bought a few too many. I'll just save them for next week. I don't have anything in the same spot. So again, we're just doing the train die groundwork. Okay. I'm going to turn those into her real quick because I get on my Mogpendium some Mog Tomes. We call them Mog Tomes. They're like irregular tomestones of something or other. I'll look in a moment. Hang on. Irregular tomestone of allegory. But everybody calls them Mog Tomes because it's for the Moogle event. And there's a Mogpendium. Much obliged for all the help, Gav. The soldiers' families give you their thanks as well. Thought I spent a bunch. Far Eastern Antiques, is it? Damned if I know how you can craft an antique, but the collectors don't seem to pay it any mind. If anything, that this sort seems to appeal more. Now then, on closer inspection, bugger me, you don't see something like this every day. Hells, you're lucky to see something like that once in a blue moon. I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up. I knew there'd be a cutscene here, so that's why I wanted to get it done. Gotta say, Gav, you've done more than your fair share for the fund. Wouldn't want to impose upon you further, not right now. Rest up and come around another time, alright? You've delivered the weekly maximum of 6 items to Monago. You may begin deliveries again starting Tuesday at 3 a.m. Alright. I also have sturdy vat materials. For Adkira, because that was the... I thought it was one of the specials this week. Fermented juice actually might be. Oh no, this is the bonus, I'm sorry. You see it says bonus here, and it's kind of grayed out. Sturdy vat material is for the bonus. I really need to spend some... Looks like I gotta spend crafter tokens, too. Oh yeah, I'm maxed out on my crafter scripts. I've been talking with my thing off the whole time. Alright. Hello, cats and kittens. I said all those beautiful things, and not one of you heard me. Alright. Ocean fishing is the way to go if you want to do your challenge log for, let me get to that. For crafting and gathering, okay? Because you can get 10 large-sized fish and 30 fish in a single 21-minute run. Also fantastic for Moogle tomes because you're going to get at least 5 and possibly 10. I'm usually getting about 8, depending on how things go. So, well worth doing. Well worth doing. 21 minutes for 8 Moogle tomes. Pretty good because, like, doing Praetorium will get you 7. And I guarantee you Praetorium is more, it's longer than 21 minutes. Alright, we now, I'm going to do these turn-ins on Samurai. Speak with Uniculai at the Rising Stones. We did the Sephiroth battle. And we did a second one. Can't remember which one I did. It was like really late the other night when I was doing that trial. Hello. Yeah, right? I try not to turn it off, but when I feel like and then like when I'm recording without live streaming, I don't turn it off. Because I keep forgetting to turn it back on again. Driving me crazy. I actually had to go look up how to say this kid's name, right? And I found out it's a Central American snake god or something like that. Uniculai. Is aught amiss, Warrior of Light? Archon Y'shtola mentioned that there was a matter she wished to discuss. Well, Metcav, you'll forgive me if I seem curt, but I would settle an account with our young friend. While conducting a final sweep of Sophia's containment facility, we discovered that all of her remaining thralls had perished in their stasis chambers. This was your doing? Aye, it was. I chose to act upon the knowledge revealed within the tomestone we recovered. The true purpose of these prisons is far more horrifying than we first assumed. The Alligans were not simply observing the icons and siphoning away their energies. They were conducting experiments in preparation for a far more ambitious project. If you'll recall, both the Fiend and the Goddess were imprisoned within massive spherical structures. These spheres were the prototypes which paved the way for the successful completion or construction of an artificial celestial body. Y'shtola says, you speak of Dalamud. Aye, the Icon's cages are unmistakably of the same design as the Red Moon. To be plain, the research facility contains the seeds of 3 calamities, which might feasibly be visited upon a chosen target. Eliminating one of them necessitated the destruction of the goddess's slumbering thralls, a distasteful task unbefitting one such as the Warrior of Light. Thus did I resolve to perform the deed myself. Y'shtola says, you've made your case, and 'tis apparent that we were not in full possession of the facts. Nevertheless, your notion of what may or may not be expected of Gav is presumptuous in the extreme. Exactly. It's like, who are you to make that decision for me, man? When the Warrior of Light chose to join the Scions, he did so in the knowledge that he would be required to face and destroy not only the Primals, but also their fanatical servants. That which you term a distasteful task is an essential part of our calling, a burden which every Scion is sworn to shoulder. Yeah, Gav's going, what she said. I see. 'Twould seem I misjudged the depth of your resolve. No matter. Assuming I have made myself understood, we need not speak of it again. There is, however, one other subject which merits discussion. You determined that Sophia's thralls were awoken by a Garlean soldier who had somehow gained access to the containment area, did you not? If that is the case, it seems highly doubtful that the interloper wandered into such a dangerous part of the facility by chance. Dissidents within the Empire claim that the 6th Legion is rife with agents under orders to thwart the Legatus's mission by any means necessary. Lest you imagine that we have allies in Garlemald, I should clarify that their motive is wholly uncharitable. Regula van Hydrus rose to the top of the Garlean military on merit alone, and is fiercely loyal to the Emperor for recognizing his efforts. His compeers, by contrast, rose through the favor of the established order, and would accordingly do anything to see him fail. Nikolai said that they would be so reckless. You truly believe that the actions of these agents contributed to the recent crisis? Ystola says, aye, and that they pose no less a risk to the realm than those loyal to the Emperor. Plainly, we must needs continue to do all in our power to prevent the technologies of Alec from falling into the hands of man. On that point, at least, we have ever been in complete agreement. Alright, let's see, a deific simulacrum. Thank you, Koji Fox, for making these words so easy for me to say. And, the last pillar to fall. Nikolai has a gift for you. I would like you to have this, Warrior of Light. It is an elegant tomestone, similar to the one we discovered after your victory over Sephiroth. The records contained within describe the goddess at the height of her power and will enable Alisaie's reality augmentation technologies to generate an idealized simulacrum of Sophia against whom to test your skills. From what I have been able to determine, this formed part of a greater trial intended to test Alec's elite warriors. Quite how it will compare to the challenge presented by the Fiend's Tomestone, I cannot say. I suppose there is only one way to be certain. Visit the verification node on Azus Law and witness firsthand what awaited the champions of Eld. I believe that unlocks the Savage Raid. Nikolai has a request regarding the final icon of the Warring Triad. Greetings, Warrior of Light, but one pillar of the Warring Triad remains, Zurvan, the icon known as the Demon. According to the histories I have uncovered, this monstrous being was worshipped by a race of Mericidian beastmen. These creatures are the key to maintaining Zurvan's manifestation, and we can be sure that many such thralls will be imprisoned somewhere within the research facility. It is imperative that we determine their exact location as swiftly as possible. We dare not risk repeating the near disaster we suffered at the hands of Sophia's servants. As such, your fellow scions have already begun an exhaustive search, but there are several sectors which only you, Kryl, and I can enter without fear of enthrallment. Let us make our way to Azus Law forthwith and aid the investigations. Alright. Back to the flagship. Oh my god. Where we must fly. There's never been a time when I wished more that we had an Ethernet shard on the ship. It's like, really, Square? Really? Alright. We're riding the Shadow Gribber because I like the music. It's very cool. It's very bombastic, but it's very cool. I love choral music. It's driving me crazy right now that COVID has just destroyed my ability to sing. In fact, I'm going to go see an ear, nose, and throat doctor about it. That and the ringing in the ears, that's driving me crazy too. But I just can't sing certain notes at all. Like, nothing comes out. We have a destination here. Cryle says, Gev, it's good we caught you. The facility has been swarmed by Imperial troops. Riage says, by their standards, did we judge them soldiers of the 6th? Aye, once more doth Regula van Hydrus stretch forth his hand to seize the forbidden fruits of Aleg, and once more have our meticulous wards been swept aside like so many cobwebs. So Riage is saying, hey, they broke through our wards. Regula van Hydrus has managed to break in, and he's trying to steal the Aleg knowledge. Your meddlesome wards were destroyed from within by the pulsating energy of an icon. Nay, put up your weapons and listen. The followers of Zurvan have awakened, and they toil to rouse their master. Y'shtola says, the demon's worshippers yet slumbered when we confronted Sophia. Could the tampering of her thralls have been more widespread than we thought? Eunuculi says, they shared a common enemy. 'Tis not unthinkable that they would seek to free all those the Allegans had imprisoned. Yes, the cage doors are open, and whilst you stand here quibbling over who picked the locks, my soldiers are inside the facility risking their lives and their sanity. They have volunteered to face death to prevent Zurvan's servants from waking him in the fullness of his power. Now, assuming you have at last understood the gravity of this situation, it is time that I rejoined them. Cryle says, but you cannot hope to succeed. The icon will enslave the minds of any who draw near. Regula says, thus did I seek out those with the power to resist his influence. Aid us, and mayhap my men will not perish in vain. Eunuculi says, you propose an alliance. Yes, Eunuculi, that's what he's proposing. Regula says, I have delved into the depths of this place and found its technology wanting. These mechanisms have failed to hold their prisoners, and such broken artifacts are unfit to bring before the Emperor. Twice have you bested me in combat. Will you now lend me that strength and stand against our mutual foe? Y'shtola says, 'Twas in opposing your reckless schemes that Isael was lost to us. You expect us to simply forgive and forget all that has come before? Regula says, I expect you to put aside your emotions and use your better judgment. But, of course, I'm dealing with savages. I will not stand here and justify the death of the Ice Maiden. We pursued our ideals and you pursued ours. Such was the result, and mayhap you might consider another point. In these endless clashes we have all lost comrades dear to us. Yet I choose to put aside past grievances to beg your champion's aid, to appeal to your reason. Riage says, thou art willing to build a bridge of common purpose upon such tremulous foundations? So he's saying, you want an alliance based on that little? I, too, am hesitant to accept this arrangement, Archon Y'shtola, but the offer has been made to the Warrior of Light, and 'tis his involvement which shall ultimately sway its outcome. I shall abide by Gav's decision. Zurvan must be stopped. He's an icon. He's got to be stopped. Then, for better or worse, we shall fight at your side. Nikolai says, Mrs. Kryle and I are also resistant to primal influences. We shall aid you where we can. Regula says, then let us be on our way. Let's turn in this other quest to the verification node. What? Activating verification system. Enlistment program request acknowledged. Awaiting Tomestone data. I need to eat some food. My food buff ran off. Elegant Tomestone of Divinity, although it appears to be not more than a simple stone, Eunuculi insists it contains reams of invaluable information gathered by the lost Allegan Empire on the subject of the goddess Sophia. Data processed. Adversary. Warring Triad. Sophia. Threat level extreme. Successful applicants will progress to elite squad induction. Families of unsuccessful applicants will receive twice standard death benefits. Thanks. Thanks so much. Before initiating this program, elite squad applicants must agree to extensive physical Blue crackle. Data corrupted. Unable to verify input. Applicant agreement accepted. He keeps going. Activating reality augmentation. Initiating enlistment program. The Empire thanks you for your service. Postmortem data will be used to improve the survival rates of subsequent applicants. Your sacrifices appreciated. Alright, the Extreme is now available. I believe we probably could solo those, but I'm not going to do that today. Nikolai says, our companions have already passed through to the research facility. We should not lag behind. The demon stirs. Riage says, like a suckling babe, he feedeth upon the ether siphoned unto him by his thralls. We must needs deprive him of the sustenance. Okay, like a nursing baby, he's feeding on the ether that he's sucking out of his thralls, okay? Get rid of the thralls, get rid of him. Regular says, then we destroy those devices. Hold. Witness your soldiers. They have turned one against the other. Even half awake, Zurvan corrupts and converts those who enter his aura. The three of us thing. Gav, Eunuculi, we rush in together and each disable a generator. We cannot give them the chance to rally a defense. Regula says, there are 4 mechanisms by my account. If I can avoid the icon's miasma, my blade will make short work of the last one. Riange says, we, all of us, have pledged our lives too. Keep your lives. I would rather you tend to my fallen. Some may yet survive with their minds intact. Well, Riange can heal. I know not if my strength will be enough. I am no champion. Regula says, the battlefield is no place for uncertainty, boy. Fate has blessed you with a unique talent and an occasion to use it. Do not waste such a gift. We strike. That's very regular. Somebody who has come up through the ranks by their own merit. often will think along that line. Servan is a Nikolai. Regular says, "Ah." He slumbers once more. Nikolai says, "You saved me. Why?" "I told you, boy. Yours is a gift too precious to waste. A gift the Emperor may one day have need of in his war against these untamable icons. Emperor Varus, he raised me up from the ranks, stood against my detractors. I gladly give my life in his service." You must finish this. Slay these leeches upon our star. Kill them all. Kill Zervan. Riange says, "We must needs withdraw and prepare our assault. At the cost of his very life, the legatus hath prized open for us a window of opportunity." Okay. Riange says, we have to get out of here and prepare for the attack. The legatus gave his life, so we have this window of opportunity. Stola says, "'Tis not often that I dare approach so closely to entities such as Zervan. How sharply am I reminded of the burden we place upon those whom are blessed with the echo." Riange says, "These wounded soldiers will live, but further battle is beyond them. I have counseled them to remain here until their compatriots arrive to bear them home." Krause says, "I had thought Regula a cold and ruthless man, but he showed surprising compassion for his soldiers. And it also seems he placed great trust in his emperor. If Regula could be convinced that the technology for containing primals is fatally flawed, then mayhap Varus can be convinced as well." 6th Legion Decurion, forgive me if I show a little gratitude for my rescue. It is said that the Emperor and Van Hydrus were childhood friends. Foul fortune that we should be the ones to bring news of his death. Yeah. When you deal with dictators, you don't want to be the bearer of bad news. You know, it may end up not going well for you, even if it's not your fault. The research facility crawls with their Zervan's faithful, and they will not cease in their efforts to rouse him. If you would honor the legatus' sacrifice, then you must slaughter those fiends to the last. Okay. Speak with the Nikolai now. He's dead. Had I only been stronger. Enough of that. There'll be time for regrets after we've rid the world of Zurvan. Still says, Kryl has the right of it. The demon has fallen back into torpor for now, but we must act swiftly if Regula's death is to have meaning. The survivors speak of an army of thralls loose in the facility, and we must assume that these followers continue their efforts to awaken the icon. Riange says, let us then concentrate upon diverting them from their task. Mistress Kryl and Master Nuclei, prithee secure the controls to Zurvan's shackles and limit the restoration of his might. Alright, so let's focus on, preventing these thralls from doing their thing. Mistress Kryl and Nuclei, you secure the controls to Zurvan's shackles and keep him from getting stronger, regaining his strength. Arkan Y'shtola and I will forge ahead and strike down those thralls as would seek to harry you. Okay, we're going to go ahead. We're going to kill the thralls that might try to come back and give you a hard time. Warrior of Light, thine is, as ever, the most perilous duty. Okay, Warrior of Light. Gav, it's your job to kill the Zurvan. Gather to thee thy trusted companions and extinguish from this realm the fires of the demon himself. Okay. Get your 7 other buddies. Go kill Zurvan. Apparently in all of the other languages, Urianger doesn't speak in this, early modern variation of their language. He uses Shakespearean, which is early modern English. In the English translation, which I think is fantastic. I love it. But he doesn't do that in any... Now, obviously, they probably have some Shakespeare equivalents in these other languages, but whether they spoke like Shakespeare is another thing altogether. The last pillar of the Warring Triad is set to fall. Let's see this to the end, Gav. Nuclei has... The Legatus spoke truly. The thick of battle is no place to question oneself, and I will accept any forthcoming duty with certitude or not at all. Okay, I'll be focused or not. Alright, now we can... Alright, this is where you would enter the Singularity Reactor with a party of other players. Okay. Or Containment Bay Z1T9, which is the one we would be doing. I can't do that one solo, I don't think. So we have storming the hull to finish off. Okay, we're going to go back to Limsa to turn in storming the hull. I can't leave from here. Okay. Let's leave the building, now we can go. I have to speak with Denston. It's over here somewhere. I think we have to go down. There he is. Well, how was it? Did you give them elites the hiding of their lives, or what? Come on, out with it. Einzar says, patience, lad. All of Limsa will know the tale ere long. 'Twas a sight to behold, that much I will say. Gav and his comrades carved their way through beasts and men like a cutter through a swell. Not even a visit from the Sirens and the Krakens could slow their pace. The Sirens and the Krakens are local pirate groups. Huh? Pirates turned up at the drill? What in the Seven Hills did they want? Why, to do their civic duty, of course. They invited themselves as members of the Black Sails Unit. You'd be forgiven for forgetting, but the pirate powers are still bound to the Maelstrom by the Galadian Accord. Of course, they never deigned to take part in our exercises, and we've long stopped asking. As for why they chose to grace this one, I reckon word got out that the Warrior of Light would be facing our finest, and they fancy to go themselves. I saw no reason to deny them. Admit it, you wanted to see if the old cutthroats could still hold their own in a fight. Begging your pardon, Chief, but are you all right? You look a bit sore. Don't tell me you... I deemed it good for morale. But I did not come here to speak of that. Gav, the Maelstrom is grateful for your participation. May you sail with us till sea swallows all. Good day, gentlemen. I'd have stowed away on the ferry if I'd known the chief would be fighting. Seeing you in action must have woken the spirit of the Golden Age in him. Though I doubt he's as spry now as he was back then. I hope you didn't give him too bad of a beating. Legends like Mistbeard never get old. But the chief, well, he's just a man. But let's keep this little chat between ourselves, eh? Good to see you back again, Gav. Thanks for helping out the chief. All right. I'm like way behind here. All right. We are going back to Norvrant. I set the Crystarium as my new home point because I didn't need Kugane as the new home point anymore. But I did put a favorite over at Kugane, I think. Let's see, register. Well, I did this as a favorite because we're going to be coming back here a lot. And the cooldown is 870, it's like 900 seconds to cool down on that. Speak with Zyle. Down by the rookery. So Haldor thinks you're ready to undertake two-nut build now, does he? How intriguing. Why not? We're down a few ranking hunters, so perhaps you can make up for their absence. Do bear in mind that should you die whilst in pursuit of a mark, you will receive no compensation. You'll also be dead, which would be an inconvenience for the both of us. We have great expectations for you, Hunter. It's like, thanks. Thanks a lot. My death would inconvenience you. Okay. Let's pick up Halidor's. How do you like those? How do you like 3 nuts? Halidor seems positively giddy to see you again. Hey there, killer. Getting bored of those 2-nut marks, was you? Aye, they might have been enough to get the blood pumping and the heart racing before, but it's only a matter of time before the excitement fades. I know exactly how you feel, my friend. I myself can think of nothing more exciting than being driven to my mortal limits, to be forced to bring fang and claw to bear when weapons shatter and you're scrambling to survive with whatever is at hand. Who are we to deny you that singular sport, aye? That's why I've recommended you for 3-nut marks. Be proud. Soon you'll be dancing with death herself. Go and speak with Zyle, and I'm sure she'll be absolutely thrilled to grant you this wonderful privilege. Oh, I can't turn it in for XP until he's at level 76 as Samurai. We also have the battle on Becco. I'm actually going to do that one because I need that skill. There's only so far you can get into different raids before people notice that you don't have your full kit. And while nobody should ever be giving you a hard time, and if they do, you're free to report them. You know, I like to contribute to my fullest when I can. Makoto! She looks defeated even before the battle has begun. Gav, my fears have become reality. Members of the Sekisugame are deserting one after another. Finding out that I am Ugetsu's sister and you, Musasai's pupil, has shattered their faith in our cause. With so many gone, we haven't the strength to face the insurgents. We have to convince them to return somehow. There's no two ways about my connection to Ugetsu, but if we can dispel the stigmas surrounding Master Musasai at least, they may yet have a change of heart. I require but a chance to speak my piece. Will you help me round up our disillusioned comrades? I will look around the barracks in the north side of town if you could focus your search on the south. Let's go do that. Why am I going the long way? Go by the Ethernet shard there. Or Aetheryte Plaza. They say you bested the lieutenant, but I'll be damned if you didn't use dirty tricks you learned from the craven Musasai. The captain calls? What's the insurgent's sister want now? Might as well see what sort of lame excuse she's got in store. Okay. Conscientious, Sekisugume. What do you want, Ijin? I have naught to say to the likes of you. The captain desires a chance to explain? Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to hear her out. Right, then over to the markets. Babyface Sekisugume. Look, it's not that I mistrust you and the captain, it's just I can't work up the will to fight anymore. She wants to talk, does she? Well, I doubt anything she says will change my mind, but I'll go along with it for now. Send my guys out on their ventures. Send them out every hour. Sometimes I send them out on the quick stuff because, you know, every now and then they'll bring back dyes and some cool things that I can use later on. Now that I've got my crafters up into the 80s and 90s, they're bringing back like rank 90 and 100 equipment that I can use on my other jobs later on. So that's actually very handy to have. So don't ignore your leveling your retainers and your crafters. By the kami, this is awkward. Let us hear what she has to say. This better be good or I'm going to the tavern. But of course you had a secret to hide. I know not what is worse, that you were pupil to the craven Musasai, or that the captain is sister to the insurgent Ugetsu. My thanks for your help, Gav. Let's begin before they change their mind. Hear me, my comrades. In our nation, Musasai is a name that evokes loathing. All know that his were the hands that created the monster Ugetsu, and all know that he evaded responsibility for fear of death. But naught could be further from the truth, for Musasai ever taught that a samurai's calling is to preserve order. However, Ugetsu seeks to do the very opposite. In bringing down the Bakufu, he means to usher in such chaos as to trigger another age of blood. Ugetsu may have trained under Musasai, but he was no true pupil of his. Nay, his true pupil stands before you now, and he, like his master did, wields his katana to protect the peace. The gruff guy says, protect the peace? You like to say, but what did Musasai ever do to protect the peace? Can you tell us that? Conscientious One says, I had asked the same question. All we know is that he challenged warriors the realm over and never was once defeated. An impressive feat, to be sure, but it's neither here nor there. It takes strength to protect the peace. As we strive to hone our skills through rigorous training, Musasai honed his through duels. We could say he went on a quest to right wrongs as Kogarashi, or he brought evildoers to account as Kogarashi. Well, let's do that. Wait a second. The Kogarashi? The mystery samurai who roamed the land smiting the wicked when I was little? The man who protected the weak and punished common crooks and great lords alike before vanishing like the wind? It was Musasai all along? I became a samurai because of him. Me too. Kogarashi was my hero. I wanted to change the world like him. Looking back, 'twas when first I heard tell of Kogarashi that the desire to take up the katana took root in my heart. I had known that Master Musasai journeyed the land with my brother, but to think that he did so as Kogarashi, could the experience have pushed Ugetsu to his extreme beliefs? Conscientious One was, very well, Captain, we were wrong about Musasai, but what have you to say for yourself? That's right. We haven't forgotten about that. Your brother's the bastard that's trying to tear down our nation. How can we trust you? Familiar voice. Ugh, enough. I've been biting my tongue, but I can't stand it anymore. Hello there, Gav. Fancy seeing me here, I shouldn't doubt. The idea occurred to me to visit Musasai's homeland, you see? And you know how spontaneous I can be. But what do I find upon arriving but this painful display of narrow-mindedness? The old man would be turning in his grave. Who the hells are you? Who I am doesn't matter. What matters is what I did, and that was to journey with Gav and Musasai on a quest to right wrongs. We've established that you all respect and admire Musasai, who happens to be your childhood hero, Kogarashi. Well then, you should know that he used to always say about his own countrymen, that you so focused on a person's birth you blind yourselves to his true worth. It's so bleeding obvious I can't believe I have to say this, but having a villain for a brother doesn't make Makoto a villain. In spite of their relationship, she opposes him for God's sake. Now, look at yourselves. None of you were born into samurai families, but through hard work you made it this far. Become who you wanted to be. What Makoto has done is no different. Like you, she's broken free of the shackles of her birth to live a life of her own choosing. Oh, they kind of have their heads down in shame like they should. By the kami, why could I not see this? After all we've been through together as comrades? Damn it, you're right. How many times have I had to put up with scorn because I came from a poor village? But there I was dealing with that scorn to the captain. Strike me down for a fool. I've always despised this aspect of our culture, yet all this time I remained its unwitting prisoner. Come, my friends, let us bring back those of us who are still at large. We have a battle to win and peace to protect. You're the gentleman from the inn in Ulda. I owe you a debt of gratitude. Omozigo says, oh, don't mention it. I'm a showmaster by trade, and words are my domain. Swords, not so much, but so I'll bow out here. Oh, I think I'll go and take a dip in one of those hot springs I've heard so much about. The rest I leave in your capable hands, Gav. Put a stop to Ugetsu and give the old man the peace he deserves. Fist bump. You can count on me. The appointed hour is nigh. Let us make for the field of battle, for the Isle of Becco. Join Makoto on the Isle of Becco. I think we have to go out. Oh, actually, I don't know if you know this. I discovered this on accident one time. If you go jump into that spring, it'll bounce you all the way to the top. It's kind of fun. Okay. What level is this? Level 70. Okay. And we are level 73. All my doubts are banished. I stand ready to fight with you. Griff1 says, right, let's give those insurgent bastards a thrashing they'll never forget. Conscientious Guy says, I'm pleased to say we were able to round up everyone. All that remains is to fight as we've never fought before. Eat another serving of food to refresh it. I have a blue sunflower corsage. All wayward members are returned, and all with their resolve restored. Let us go and face Ugetsu. Alright, level sync is in effect. Will this false peace continue, or will the fires of true change sweep across the land? Today, we decide Hingashi's history. Today, we decide whose path is right. Musasai's or mine? There is but one among you worthy of being my opponent, he who trained under mine own master. Come, Gav, show me the strength of your conviction. I don't know. Oh, okay, they're all fighting everybody else. We're gonna stay out of that. I want to stay out of that for sure. Alright. Lord Ugetsu defeated? Impossible. Alright, we did it. Why do you stay your blade? It is over. The heavens have chosen. Now strike me down. A samurai must be decisive. Finish me, or I shall finish you. Good. You've grown strong, little sister. Come, my friends. Let us return to the barracks. Can you imagine having to strike down a family member? How horrible would that be? I mean, there are situations where it could be done if one absolutely had to. And, say your sibling's a psychopath, which I suppose this guy was. But still, I think it would be horribly difficult. We've succeeded in quelling a major threat to the nation, and it was in no small part due to you, Gav. You have my eternal gratitude. While not all insurgents are accounted for, without a leader to unite them, they will eventually scatter to the winds. As for me, my appointment as captain of the Sekisegumi has since been made official. 'Tis a heavy burden, but I swear to bear it with honor and live up to Captain Kongo's faith in me. Meanwhile, the revelation of Kogorashi's true identity has been doing its rounds of our order. 'Twould seem that nigh all of our younger members idolized him, and joined out of the desire to make a difference. In embarking upon his quest, I believe that Master Musosai in part wished to sow the seeds of a new generation. Ugetsu sought the quick path to change, and cared not that it was fraught with strife and suffering. He saw Hingashi as a dilapidated house, fit only to be torn down. But Master Musosai sought to restore this house, board by board, nail by nail, one injustice at a time, even should it take several lifetimes. To ensure that his legacy lives on, I will embark upon my own quest of change here in Kugane, and I pray that you will do the same, no matter where your road takes you. No worries about Gav on that front, right? You get Hisatsu Guren. Delivers an attack to all enemies in a straight line before you with a potency of 400 for the first enemy and 25% less for all remaining. That's kind of cool. By facing your brother Pupil in Mortal Kombat, you have done something that I couldn't read fast enough. This concludes the Samurai quest for Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood. In order to undertake the next series of quests, you must first meet the following requirements. Shadowbringers must be registered to your service account and completed the MSQ Shadowbringers. You must have completed the role quest, Courage, Born of Fear. Once you have done so, the next Samurai quest will be available from Makoto. Sam, I am too. For the achievement, that's a reference to Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss. Ah, Gav, it does my spirit well to see you. Pray, take your ease at our humble barracks. How fare you of late? The burdens of a captain are many and heavy, but with the willing aid of those around me, I'm managing the weight somehow. In my station, I cannot simply leave my responsibilities behind to embark on the quest to right wrongs. But one day, perhaps another like the legendary Kogarashi shall arise from our very own ranks. Speaking of our ranks, I should mention that we welcomed an unexpected group of recruits of late, Ugetsu's former minions. They were deeply remorseful of their actions, and I decided that they deserved a second chance. Though their methods were unconscionable. Okay, if they were unconscionable, why did you allow it? They bear no less love for the nation than us. The fervor with which they go about their duty is testament to this. By the same token, it seems that we, Sekisugumi, and the insurgents were but two sides of the same coin. But one misstep, and I may have ended up on the same side as my brother. But here I am now, and here I shall stay. With Master Musosai's teachings ever guiding me, I shall continue striving to change the realm one injustice at a time. Ah, that's nice. Hey! No, I don't think I have... We do have a summoner quest. Mad, Bad, and Ebon Clad. Let's go to Ul'dah. Bad, and Ebon Clad. I want to keep up with the summoner quest line, too. Because I level them in between streams. And I don't want to get really far behind, otherwise, you know, it's really difficult to contribute to your best in roulettes, which I do a lot of. A lot of. Dancing Wolf is ready to go on the offensive. Greetings, Gav. I hope you're prepared to take action. Ever since we increased our presence on the trade routes, our black-robed villain has ceased his attacks. Now, it is our turn to go on the offensive. With the blessings of my With the blessings of my superiors, I have arranged for a lightly guarded shipment of crystals with which we will lure Tristan into an ambush. And I want you there when we spring the trap. I've already sent word to Ymitra, and she will meet us in Camp Blue Fog. I don't know why I keep saying Blue Frog when it's Blue Fog. I think. Yeah, let us bring an end to this, Gav. Which would make way more sense because it's a cerulean processing plant and it creates blue fog. I've been calling it that for 3 years. Blue fog. It's going to take me forever to relearn how to say it correctly. Hey, how are you? Speaking of frogs, I was doing the battle on Big Bridge on Gav, and I filmed it, and I got turned into a frog right at the start of the fight, and the chicken was coming after me trying to eat me. This is hilarious. I like ran around like a chicken with my head cut off, so to speak. Dimitri, we've been waiting for you, Gav. Let us put Captain Wolf's plan into action. Okay. Dancing Wolf, Gav, you're here. Good. Our crystal couriers have just left the camp. Plan is simple. The caravan will head towards the processing plant, but conveniently break an axle before reaching the east watchtower. We three will take up separate positions nearby and wait for Tristan to take the bait. I've had the driver complaining long and loudly about the lack of a suitable escort for his precious cargo, so we can be reasonably sure that an attack will come. I trust you need no further explanations. Head to your assigned position and do your best to keep out of sight. Alright, let's go on over there. And the fog even looks blue. I don't know where I got blue frog from. Courier decoy. You're here for the ambush? It's a pleasure to meet you and all, but you'd best keep your distance. We wouldn't want the enemy avoiding our carefully laid trap, eh? It's like, get out of here. Go hide. Y'all tell your families hi for me. Oh, it burns! It burns! Oh, looks like an Asian. We're aiding him. Talk to me, soldier. I'll live, Captain. He popped right out of thin air. Took me by surprise. Demetra says, the same happened to me. Another man in dark robes stepped through some manner of portal and assailed me with spells. My position also came under attack, an underling, judging by the ease with which I dispatched him, but I have never before seen such teleportation magics. No, it cannot be. Demetra says, you know this man, Captain Wolf? This is Cahedron, or Cahedon, Tristan's brother, but how? He was tempered, slain. Haughty voices, and now both siblings have disappointed me. Ah, I should exercise more care in choosing my pawns. An Asian, that voice. You're the one who taught Tristan the art of summoning. Have you come to inflict yet more misery upon the world? Asian of the 12th Chalice. Tristan, yes, that was the other's name. I had hoped to groom him, granted him the knowledge of Alag's mages that he might unleash his wrath against the primals. Alas, he was all too easily vanquished. No matter, the Bringer of Light has proven a more than adequate replacement for my failed Godslayer. With every primal you kill, the beastman's fervor grows ever hotter. We need but supply the tribes with crystals and watch as they summon ever more terrible deities. When the confluence of chaos reaches its peak, the world shall be swallowed in darkness. Our master shall rise again. Dancing Wolf says, he's gone. And we should be gone as well. I shall see that my soldier is treated for his wounds, then await you outside the Hall of Flames. It's very interesting. The Asians don't always talk a lot about why they're trying to do all this crap that they're doing, right? And so it sounds like they're trying to bring things to a head to be able to summon their god. Right, Ymitra says, once again a paragon lurks behind the curtain, pulling the strings. I should have suspected. Dancing Wolf says, I believe some reassessment is in order. We know now that the black-robed menace we thought to be Tristan was actually his brother Kahedin, a reanimated puppet under the control of an Ascian. Both brothers were present at Ifrit's defeat, so Kahedin's aura, too, would have been stained with the Primal's essence, which, if I understand correctly, would explain his ability to command the Eggy. Eggy? But for that Ascian to raise the lad's corpse and press him into service as his pet summoner, I shall see the Blackguard suffer for his cruel depravity. Aye, the Paragon has many crimes for which he must answer, but we must move with great caution. The power of these immortals is not to be underestimated. I will return to Gridania and redouble my efforts to decipher the remaining tomestones. We cannot face an Ascian unprepared. Okay. Next one is available at level 58, so that'll be a couple more levels. Alright. I think that's pretty much all we can do for the moment. Let's go back to Crystarium. We will continue our MSQ. Working off the meal. Let's go to Mordsuk. Let's see what Gengen has to say. Cracking the coin purse is only the beginning. We have wares for every occasion, so feel free to spend to your heart's content. Kassard says he's impressed by your gastronomic fortitude. Yeah, last time, if you remember, we ate some frogs on sticks or something god-awful. You have courage, my friend. Ronron's wares are more exotic than harmful, but I don't envy you the bellyache you'll have on the morrow. Right, now that you've eaten, I expect you're eager to get back on the road. Would you mind if we delayed our departure a touch? I have a few deals left to close before I can conclude my business here in Mordsuk. Oh, offering your services, are you? Aye. Well, an assistant would certainly help hurry things along. I have a receipt here for some goods that need picking up from the market. All properly paid for, you just need to do the lifting and carrying. I'll go and take care of the last-minute haggling, then. See you in a bit. You may view the market receipt at any time during this quest by using the relevant item in the Key Items menu. I'm going to drag it to my bar here so I can... Table Cactus, Thonton, Iron Ore, Thaltal, Nabath, Orang Antiques, Mill to be collected from Eulmore. Okay. Let's not, we don't want to pick up we don't want to pick up things that don't belong to us. Nabeth Arang Antiques. To be... Oh, there's Mill. Alright, let's see. Now we gotta find Moogle. Faltal. Iron ore. Okay. Cassard sent you, did he? Right, yes. What kind of ore was it again? Iron. Iron ore, of course! That would explain this box I have here. It's all yours. I didn't want to get it wrong. What does Shansan have? It's all level 70 stuff. Okay. Thantan. Table cactus. That's what it is. You came in with Cassard, yes? Good, good. I can finally stop thinking about this sack. Please take your prickly purchase. Alright, here's Moogle with the box of antiques. Ooh, lovely, lovely pots. Warrior of Light, Fighter, and Grocer. Hey, no touching. That merchandise is spoken for. You couldn't possibly change my mind with a better offer. What? Cassard sent you? Why didn't you say so? I wouldn't dream of selling his goods to a higher bidder. No, 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 no. Nabath Arang relics, wasn't it? All packed in that box here. Handle with care. Okay. Deliver the Mordsuk merchandise to Cassard. Don't tell me you've been around the entire market already. Yep, Mordsuk merchandise. Collection of goods Cassard ordered from the merchants of Mordsuk. Aye, that's a lot, alright. Good work. And quick work, too, considering you've not set foot in the place before. I thought you were one to sit in the city like the Exarch, but something tells me you're not a stranger to visiting strange lands. Unfortunately, your efficiency presents something of a problem. I'd hoped to conclude all my business before you returned, but it seems there's been some confusion over one of the orders I placed. I'll have to drag in my middleman and sort this mess out. I'm sorry to make you sit around and twiddle your thumbs. Cassard? It feels like an age since I last saw you. Well, if it isn't the lovely Tesleen. It's been a while, but your timing couldn't be better. Okay. This gentleman was on his way to meet with Alisaie. I'm supposed to be taking him to your corner of the desert, but a misplaced order has commandeered my attention. Wait, I know who you are. Alisaie has told me so much about you. You're Gav, aren't you? My reputation precedes me. Okay. I knew it. How wonderful to meet you in the flesh after hearing all those stories. I'm Tesleen. I work as a carer at the inn, and I've gotten to know Alisaie quite well since she took up guard duties there. Do you want me to take over as Gav's guide, Cassard? My shopping's all done and packed for the road, so it would be no trouble. Sard says, that would be great help. Thank you. Well, it looks like you'll be able to head straight out after all. My caravan and I will be in the area for a while yet. Seek me out when you've had your fill of Amarang, and I'll send you back to the Crystarium. Tasleen is eager to set off. Alisaie's been desperate to see you, Gav, so let's get you to her sooner rather than later. The inn isn't too hard to find, really. You can actually see the top of the rock spires from here. We just need to swing around the ridge, then head south. Come on, I'll get my supplies together and meet you outside. Alright. I am going to take a quick bio break and get something else to drink, so I will be back in a few minutes. I'll keep things going here. All right, and we are back. I think I need to do something with my little be right back screens there. I think they're turning off. They're not looping. All right, to work to live or live to work, I want to pick up those blue quests. Those are ether current blue quests, and if you've followed me for any length of time, you know I love getting those done so I can get flying ASAP. Which is usually at the end, you know, the last quest in the zone, but when you really don't need it as much anymore. Greetings, friend. You like helping people, yes? Maybe you can help me too. You see, my son Gun Gun makes me very proud, but very worried. He works very hard. Too hard for his own good. He follows orders, yes, follows them until someone tells him to stop. This is very dangerous, bad for his health. I need you to speak to him, persuade him to rest. He should be near the Red Sarai, probably leaving no stone unturned in his search for relics. Please tell him his father orders him to stop. We are going to do the Fenrir, which actually moves faster. Oh my, look at that gigantic thing. Now would not be a good time to go and hit it. Good chance I could get one shot. It's kind of cool and creepy looking all at the same time. Oh, and you can't go through it. Oh. Oh, we have to go all the way back there. Oh, okay. Now, I could go on a lower, you know, my samurai level through here, but fighting trash mobs is not exciting. Search the nooks, search the crannies, search high, search low. Oh, sorry, I did not see you there. Are you lost? Father says I must rest. That will not do. No, no. I will stop, but not yet. I need something to show for my efforts. All this scrabbling, all this searching, and still no shinies. You came here to tell me to stop, but if I refuse, your job will not be finished, will it? That will not do either. Wait, I have an idea. If you help me find shinies, my job will be over, your job will be over, and I can rest. Simple, yes? Sure. Let's go find some shinies. Look under that rubble and find whatever there is to be found. Maybe it will be valuable, maybe not. Either way, let us keep searching until we get at least one shiny. Okay, let's go looking for shinies. That's shiny. What does Danta have to say? Without Amaro, we'd struggle to transport goods between here and the Crystarium. A lot of the boxes here contain their feed, brushes, and whatnot. Okay. We got 3 destinations to search. Ah, no shinies. Your search fails to yield any shinies. You find a signet ring. It's amazing how it's always in the last one. Regardless of which one you pick first, by the way. What did you find? Not more rubble, I hope. Ancient signet ring, untold years, spent buried beneath sand and rubble, have done little to tarnish this exquisitely crafted piece of jewelry. Oh, this looks very special. Very pretty patterns. I have never seen one like this before. But how much is it worth? I am an expert in finding shinies, not a historian. Perhaps we should ask someone. Once we sell it, we will divide the profits between us. We worked as a team, so half for you, half for me. Fair is fair. Ah, thanks. Okay. Let's go back over to Mordsuk. All set. Oh, I should probably mention the wildlife. Well, most of them will leave you be if you keep your distance. The local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. I can usually swing a sword well enough to fend them off, but I may have loaded myself down with too many bargains today. Do you think you could handle any beasts that try to make a meal of us? I thought you might. Alisaie has always said how much you... I mean, let's get going, shall we? I think we have a little admirer there. Wandering coyote. Sorry, there wasn't much time to shout a warning. Were you bitten? Those things can be nasty. And yet hardly a match for you, it seems. I'd always thought Alisaie was strong, but in her mind, she was never... Now it makes sense. Well, we should push on. It might be best if you scout ahead and clear out any coyotes that have our scent. I'll wait here so you can fight without any distractions. Okay. That Sanguine Bite is a heal. So it damages you and heals them as well. I love how we leave like little footprints in the sand here. I mean, that's such a silly little detail to notice. But I think it's really cool. Oh, thank goodness you're back. I could hear the howling and snarling from here. Frightful creatures. Let's hope the rest have seen your handiwork and know to avoid us now. I need to get these supplies back to the inn. Alright. Tesleen is down there, the inn at Journey's End. So let's head on back down. They make those guys big, don't they? 360 elms to the south. Let's go collect that ether current. If I can, it might actually be across the way there. Oh, there you are. Pretty sure that is on the other side there. Which I don't think we can get across to yet. Oh, these guys are on my hunt log. Yeah, I'm thinking it's over there. Yep, due south. Okay. Let's go kill these gilman. Oh, I only needed to kill one? Okay. Check out this, I don't know if you can appreciate. Let me get off the mount. This is a giant, like, tidal wave of frozen light. That just kind of upended buildings and stuff. The amount of destruction there is amazing. Scissor jaws. Well, that's not very nice. This is it. Thanks to you, I don't have to drop my shopping. I didn't have to drop my shopping even once. Come to think of it, I'm glad I didn't make the trip alone. Seems you ended up escorting me. I'll have to repay the favor somehow. But first, let's head inside, shall we? Welcome to the inn at Journey's Head. You might be our first visitor from the Crystarium since Alisaie arrived. It's not much, but it's home for the afflicted and a handful of carers. The afflicted? This illness isn't contagious, is it? Contagious? Well, no, not as far as we know. I don't think I've met anyone besides Alisaie who is so unfamiliar with our situation here. Most folk have grown up knowing someone who knew someone. I might leave out something obvious, so it may be best to have Alisaie give you the full explanation. Cecile cast her gaze around the inn, hoping to spot Alisaie. Now, where is she? I think she might be out on patrol. You could wait, I suppose. But why not go and surprise her? She usually takes a look at things from the watchtower first, so you might be able to catch her there. It's not far. Head out the south side and you'll soon see it. I'll stay behind in case she comes back while you're gone. I guess this is the watchtower. I wonder if you can go in it. Probably not. No. Never ceases to amaze me every time I see it. Alisaie is nowhere to be seen, but you spot fresh footprints on the ground, and they look to be about the right size. Small footprints. Small footprints lead off to the northwest. Footprints continue on to the northwest. Through the horde of enemies. Footprints curve around to the west. There are more tracks here, but they end in a mess of disturbed sand. Oh.
Is that... It can't be.
She's thinking as she's falling like 100 feet down. That's not what I would be thinking as I'm jumping off the a 10-story tall tower. Impressive, or you almost lost that one. I can't say that to her. There's teasing and then there's teasing.
Nothing to write home about. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner.
Love Alisaie. cool outfit.
How are you? We fought them to a standstill then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then.
So Gav was filling her in on what happened right before he got, sucked into the first.
I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision. He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims.
So Urianger in lore has the ability to see into the future, into potential futures. Bit of a prophet.
Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects, but when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations.
So now we hear how Sin Eaters are formed.
Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason, which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
It's kind of like the Tempered. It's just a matter of time. More for less. More for some, less for others. Those patients will all become monsters in the end. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society and exiled here to the edge of the world. The only good thing I have to say about this hellish place is that it has served me well as a training ground. Tesleen and the others have also been kind enough to share their knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge I can now share with you, while you help me finish my patrol, of course. Okay. There you go. All right, Alisaie would have you help her finish her patrol. Here's what we'll do. I'll take the east side of the inn and you clear the west. That way you can have an undiluted experience with the resident terrors. These marks on your map are where the usual trouble spots are. You can assume that any beast with a white hide or carapace is a Sin Eater, but you'll know for sure soon enough when they come slathering after your ether. Remember, it's kill or be killed with these monsters. Once you've slain whatever's prowling around out there, we can rendezvous back at the north entrance. Good hunting. Alright. Let's go find us some Sin Eaters to kill. I remember doing this on Bard the first time through and, you know, just pretty much at level, close to it, and it was quite challenging. Okay, no Sin Eaters there. Let's go back up to the last one. How did you fare? Oh, we killed 2 of them. I thought there might be 1 or 2 lurking on the fringes. Nothing out of the ordinary for this area. I expect you noticed it yourself, but individually, these lesser Sin Eaters are no more deadly than any natural predator you might encounter in the desert. It's when they appear in numbers that they pose a threat. You know, like any wild creature, right? You know, you got a pack of lions, it's going to be more dangerous than a single one. Much like the Void Scent, they have an unfortunate tendency to flock to the strongest of their kind. Thus, when a powerful Sin Eater goes on the hunt, it might be attended by a veritable swarm of weaker kin. Imagine an army of such creatures descending on a village or hamlet. That's the basic idea behind my patrols, to cull their ranks often enough that their numbers won't be overwhelming when the big ones come out to play, and you've certainly helped on that front. Let's report our victories to Tesleen, shall we? Yes. Alisaie says, she hasn't been telling you stories, has she? Oh, gods. Yes, she has, Alisaie. You should have heard the one she told about you. You just see Alisaie's look on her face. Alisaie tells me you helped her out on a patrol. You have our thanks, and my apologies for leading you from one battle to another ever since the moment we met. In any case, I'm glad to see the two of you found each other. You have no idea how badly Alisaie has missed your company. Everything is always, if Gav were here, he would... Alisaie says, that's an exaggeration, and I don't sound like that either. I was simply trying to view matters from another perspective, and I respect Gav's methods. Ha ha ha! Tesleen laughs. Honestly, after seeing him in action, I can understand why. The way he leaps into the fray without hesitation, it really is something to behold. I might be a little smitten myself. Alisaie goes, I'm only teasing, says Tesleen. Though I have no doubt he deserves all the admiration he gets, just as you do. This is what I get for sharing. Maybe I'll just head out on another patrol. Tesleen has the air of a woman being pulled in 10 directions at once. I'd love to lay out a welcome meal, but the duties I put off when I went to the market are still waiting for me. There are 101 things that need doing. I'm sorry, but would you mind waiting here with Alisaie? What, and twiddle our thumbs while you work yourself to death? Surely there's something we can help you with. Yeah, Gav says yeah. I could do with a hand, it's true, thank you. You can start by helping me sort out the larder, Alisaie. While we do that, could you tend to a few patients, perhaps? There are 3 in particular I meant to visit. It's just a matter of saying a few words to them and seeing that their skin isn't caked in sand. Their names are Pawnil, Todden, and Halric. They may not give much in the way of response, but I promise they'll be pleased to meet someone new. Okay. Here's Pawnil. Thank you. He doesn't say anything. Todden glances up at you blankly, but you notice the tension is in his face ease slightly. Halric remains utterly still as you wipe the sand from his cheek. The texture of his skin has hardened into something akin to plaster. I'd forgotten that detail. You've seen to the patients. How were they? Good. That's good. I knew they would enjoy meeting you. I'm concerned about Halric, though. I'll have to speak with the other carers, but I think his time may be near. Alisaie says, we shall leave you to have that discussion then. I was going to take Gav to Mordsuk if you have any errands there you need doing. Well, I suppose there is one thing. Would you pick up a nectarine from the markets, please? Cassard's caravan just passed through, so Ronron should have some fresh fruit. Come then, Gav. There's something I want you to see, right after we stop at Ronron's stall, of course. Oh, my jobs are all under control now, thank you. Go and spend some time with Alisaie. Some bug, like, flying around me here. We don't need flies on the recording. It's landing on my face. Let's see about that nectarine, shall we? Oh, back again, are you? You need another taste of Ran-Ran's wares? Alisaie says, actually, we're looking to buy a nectarine. Do you have any in stock? Oh, yes, nectarines, peaches, grapes. Fresh and juicy. It's like, why didn't you give me those to eat? Instead of these, you know, frogs on a stick. And, like, snails. Blah. Given how richly you cracked your coin purse with me, I might still owe you food. Here, take this one, free of charge. Gods, I've never seen a moored merchant give away something for nothing before. How much coin did you spend here? Oh yes, I'll take a jar of honeyed worms as well. Yeah. Oh no, they're not for me. It's an offering of sorts. Ahem, the worms, if you please. Only the best wrigglers for you. Come again, my friends. Right, that's our shopping chores taken care of. Let's head up past the Aetheryte to the main tower. The view I want to show you can only be seen from its very top. Okay. Alright. Where are we going? Ah. Mordsu Garden Yawn, you need something? Here are your precious worms. That buys us a trip to the top of the tower, does it not? Glazed wrigglers! You actually bought them! I really shouldn't let you, but just this once, alright? Just only once. Never fails. Shall we? Just this once. Just this once after you bring me some more glazed wrigglers.
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought, it's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters, but their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals.
Oh, that's sad.
I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons.
I bet you did, Alisaie.
But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
I'm glad I was able to show you that. When it comes to understanding the catastrophe which befell the first, one glimpse of the empty wasteland beyond the wall is worth more than an hour of Urianger's lecturing. And I needed you to know beyond a doubt that Tesleen has no other choice. The nectarine will be a kindness. It isn't just the threat posed to others. When a person becomes an eater, the pain appears to be excruciating. The carers are truly fond of their wards and would spare them that suffering. It is their way of fighting back against a fate worse than death. There are fates worse than death. Go out and unlock that real quick. I wanted to get the XP on my samurai for that one. Oh, I went too far. Let's go back. The things you do to chase XP, right? Alisaie says, "Go ahead. I think she's been waiting for us." You're back. I hope you had a nice time. Did you manage to find a nectarine? A plump, sweet-smelling nectarine. Whoop. Thank you. Alisaie has explained why I wanted this, has she? I can see it in your eyes. But we may not need it just yet. I spoke with the others and we've decided to keep an eye on Halric for now. Thanks to you, though, if his time does come suddenly, we'll be ready to send him on his way with a taste of happier days. Thank you for understanding. Tesleen! Tesleen makes an effort to smile brightly. Well, nothing is going to happen for a little while yet, so let's see if we can't lighten the mood. We don't want our gloomy faces worrying the patients. I think it's time for that welcome meal, don't you? Take a seat and I'll make us a nice stew.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
You needn't have gone to the trouble, or I'll have another bowl then. That sounds like Gav. I'll have another bowl then.
That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot. In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrant could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
Uh-oh. Panic caregiver? This is my fault. The patients were acting strangely and I let it distract me. Alisaie, where could he have gone? Gav, Alisaie, we have to go look for Halric. I don't know what's gotten into him, but if he's wandering out there alone. Alisaie says, we'll assign search areas and split up. Any idea where he might be headed? Tesleen says, no, he's never done anything like this before. But it can't be a coincidence that the other patients are suddenly so agitated they can sense something. In any case, let's keep the search close to the inn. Halric isn't very sure on his feet, so he won't have gone far. I'll search the east side. Please, Halric, please be all right. Alisaie says, I'll cover the north and west then. You take everything from here to the south. They're coming. I'm assuming we're going to have a battle. See no sign of Halric. Maybe he went further west. You scan your surroundings in search of Halric and suddenly find yourself under attack. Forgiven folly. Continue searching for Halric.
Any sign of him?
It's the danger music.
No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
On our way. Run with me, friends, towards the danger.
There it is! Is that... Oh no! Halric!
We have to run!
Oh no.
Tesseline! No!
We all deserve happiness. Wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
No!
Forgive me.
It is, never a good time watching a friend die. I'm sorry, Gav. I tried to tell the carers what happened, but I can't be the shoulder they lean on. Not like this. Alright, we, need to let people know. It's just so unfair. Tesleen was always so cheery with the patients, telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. Of all the people in the world to suffer such a fate. Wilfred says, I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us. So I appreciate that what you're doing here. Me? I don't have the words. Without a body, we can't even give her a proper burial. And she cared about that sort of thing. About giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. Halric is as unresponsive as ever. He stands motionless, staring up into the sky where the Sin Eaters made their escape. Alisaie is lost in grief. We could say Alisaie, or I've spoken with the carers. Thank you. What you're doing, it means a lot to them. To me. Wilfred says, sorry to interrupt. We realized we hadn't thanked you for rescuing Halric. You weren't hurt at all, were you? Alisaie says, hurt? There wasn't even a fight. I was too late. Too slow, and I thought I could protect you. Kasana says, you can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Halric back safe and sound. No one could have done any more. I'm sorry. But I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing in my role here. I hope you will forgive me for leaving you and that you will delay Halric's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. Wilfred says, we always do. Of course, she would have done the same. Farewell, Halric. Keep Tesleen's words close to your heart. Kasana says, wait, you're leaving this very moment? I understand how you must feel, but surely this is a bit hasty? Do you even have anywhere to go? Alisaie says, I have a destination in mind, yes. And a purpose. This damned light, building without cease. It's the reason we can't save those corrupted by the Eaters. But what if we corrected the balance? Even if it were only little by little, even if it took years, it could surely make things better. Wilfred says, now, hold on there. Everyone knows there's too much light, but how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. Alisaie says, that's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the Eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I've gained here to hurt them. All right. Tears on the Sand. Speak with Alisaie at the Red Sarai. I wonder if we can get there from the Samaro Keep. Nope. I can only get to Mordsuk, so we may as well port up there ourselves. Speaking of... I want to go do one fate. Because I want to show you something after that. In case you haven't seen it before. All right. I'm gonna do this one fate. Trying not to attract the Sibley eye out there. Oh, now I got 3 on me. 4 on me, oh my goodness. That wasn't what I intended. We're just killing these Tolbas. Alright, bicolor gemstones. Fates in certain areas offer bicolor gems as rewards. They can be exchanged with gemstone traders for rare items, some of which can only be obtained via these vendors. Completing fates in these areas with the highest rating possible will increase your rank, which allows the local gemstone trader to offer a wider selection of items. To view your progress in each applicable area, select Shared Fate from Travel in the main menu. Okay, so you go up to Travel here. Shared Fate. This is new from Shadowbringers. Dawn Trail and Endwalker have Shared Fates instead of like the Centurio things. So we unlocked Amarang. So the first rank, you 1 to 6. You do 6 fates, and that gives you to rank 2. Rank 2, I think you have to have 15. Rank 3, you have to have 60. So 75, 81 fates you have to do to get that up. All right. So it can be quite an adventure. In fact, our FC is doing some of the shared fates in different areas in Shadowbringers. Just to help out those of us who haven't... I didn't get all of them done in the Shadowbringers. I have done all of them in Dawn Trail, and they are some nice rewards, so they're well worth doing. But I didn't get them done in Shadowbringers, because by the time I got to Shadowbringers, I was trying to push forward really quickly with the MSQ. And so I didn't do pretty much anything extra than just MSQ and roulettes. Cassard, Gav, good to see you again. You look like you've a story or two to tell, but I sense you'd sooner get back to the Crystarium. Forgive me, Gav, I couldn't stay there a moment longer, but I was serious about what I said. While the men and women at the inn battle against this blight with kindness, I must fight it in my own way, with steel. Cassard says, Miss Alisaie, is there anything I can get you? Your swiftest Amaro. I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Amarang again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help to clear my head, at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sin Eaters out. Shall we? Yeah, let's do that. You go over to the Docile Gate. Crystarium Gatekeep. Do you have business with the Crystal Exarch? Just say the word, and I would be happy to escort you to the Ocular. Yep. Thank you for seeking me out, Gav. It meant a lot to have you there at my side. I was tempted to set off again the moment we had decided upon a direction, but you have still to visit Alphino, haven't you? And if I know my brother, he'll be on the cusp of discovering something vital to our success, if he hasn't already. I'm content to stay here and consider our options for the time being, but don't keep me waiting too long, eh? So, Alisaie, hey, go visit my brother, but, hurry up. Whenever I come to the Crystarium, the sins of Amarang seem a world away, and yet they both lie under the same wretched sky. Alright, the Crystal Exarch is eager for you to meet with Alphino. You will visit Alphino in Kalusia then? Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you will need a mount capable of making the journey. Here's a letter of recommendation. Present it to Zem Genmai, the master of beasts at Temenos Brookery, and he will take care of you. When you see Alphino, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Do you have anything else? Your first order of business will be to reunite with Alphino and Alisaie. In so doing, the predicament here in Norvrant should become abundantly clear. As for communications with the source, Feo Ul will gladly serve as your messenger. If needs be, however, you yourself should be capable of making the journey between worlds. The device there will serve as a portal. Simply touching a hand to its surface will transport you to the location of the beacon I left at the base of the tower. In theory, at least. So yeah, the portal to the source is right here. Okay. Now, I just typically will use my free transport to Limsa to do it. So that's because I don't want to run from the Crystal Tower over to Mordona and all that jazz. So just faster to go to my home city. All right. We are going to go unlock that area, and then I think we'll be set for today. Wow, this looks like so cool. They did such a nice job on the decorations here. Can you imagine? You know, like, I don't think people appreciate the work that goes into creating this level of detail. It's just quite lovely. Maybe it's because I can't do art to save my life, right? I can't make it come out of my hands. And, you know, like I can tell an AI how to make a picture and what I want it to look like, and then go from there. But, I know how difficult it is to do anything, you know, passably better than, you know, a stick person for me. So I have great appreciation for people who have the gift of art. Zemjinmai. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at the Rookery? A letter of introduction addressed to Zemjinmai and signed by the Crystal Exarch. Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with an Amaro for passage to Kalusha. I will pick you out a friendly whelp. Amaro often used for travel then, and there I was expecting a chocobo. A chocobo? Do you hail from one of Norvrant's more isolated settlements, perchance? I hear there are a few places where they ride little else. But here in the Crystarium, mounts like that grey fellow there are far more commonly used. Seeing as you are plainly unaccustomed to riding Amaro, I think it best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zune worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I ready the mounts. Okay. Okay, so we gotta go up to the launch now. You want to fly in Amaro to Kalusha? Well, I suppose if Master Jinmai is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mounts shortly. You can now travel to Kalusha. Speak with the aspiring Amaro tamer to fly to the island.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
That's very bright and colorful in this kind of wasteland area. Okay. I need to eat some food. We are arrived. This is Crackshell Beach on the eastern coast of Kalusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance? That is Eulmore, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale, and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Eulmoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of our other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Eulmore is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. I'm glad we understand each other. Now, the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. Whatever Sen Shimai has to tell you, he plainly deems it worthy of your undivided attention. If you head south along the coast, you'll eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Ivor. Ivor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Kalusia and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme. That will let him know you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend. I'll stay here with the Amaro until you're ready to return. Okay. I am going to get us to Stiltide here. I want to make sure we unlock the Aetheryte before we call it for today. Because it's, wow, we've been going for a little while. Okay. We're going to call it here for today. We got through Alisaie's arc, and I think we'll get through Alphino's arc at some point. I'll either record that or we'll live stream it next week, but we'll be continuing through Shadowbringers, of course. Now we got to get to our cat joke. Jakey, poor guy, just like been sleeping all day. He is an old man. He's now 15 years old, believe it or not. Good old boy. Okay, how is a cat like a coin? It has a head on one side and a tail on the other. Oh, God. That's terrible. Let's do another one. What state has the most cats? Pet Sylvania. Pet Sylvania. All right, cats and kittens. Help us out if you can. Like, subscribe, especially a like or subscribe. We found out that views don't count anymore, so liking and subscribing helps with the algorithm, apparently. I don't know. That's what they tell me. Anyway, we're glad to have you here, whether you like, subscribe or not. I'm thrilled to have people coming and viewing, so that's always exciting, and I look forward to sharing more Shadowbringers with you down the road. And so Mama Cat Gamer is going to sign out for here. You have a great one, cats and kittens.